The biggest factor within my success or being able to execute a goal I have is the ability to. This is my third year managing and working from this art studio in Brooklyn, New York City, and this is why I think 2024 will be my biggest year yet. This straddle, is not comfy. I'm gonna talk a lot about planning, strategies to execute goals. Take everything I say with a grain of salt, obviously, but also know I'm talking from my personal experience. Listen maybe intently because maybe some of these ideas and techniques can be applied to your life. The biggest factor within my success or being able to execute a goal I have is the ability to plan. Planning has helped me undisputedly with everything, and I've only gotten better and more appreciative and intense within planning. I think planning is the most important thing as an artist, as a business, as anyone who wants to accomplish anything. A plan to execute a goal, very important. Within that idea of a plan, there's many fractals and avenues you could go. And we're talking about 2024. By the way, this is the big ass calendar. I'm not sponsored. My sister got this for me for Christmas, and it'll be great for visually demonstrating this video. So we'll talk about 2024, a large, almost unattainable goal. And we'll put that at the end here, at the end of 2024, December 31st. Actually, for me, this is gonna be in 2025, but we'll use this as the example. My large, almost unobtainable goal is my lease in this studio ends May of 2025. And when that lease ends, I want to move to a bigger space to open sort of a proper art school with dedicated painting, drawing, and ceramics rooms. I want it to also be like a YouTube fantasy factory with production space and social hangout spaces and the ability to do podcasts and all of these things that I do here, just at a bigger scale, and focusing on the art school and hosting the highest quality and cheapest art classes in the city. So, boom, immediately, almost impossible to think, and it's very far in the future. That's my idea. And again, we're using this sort of as a chessboard of strategy to visualize it. So my goal, way in the future, open a proper art school, large, almost impossible, unattainable goal. What do we need to get there? This is where we reverse engineer. What do I need to get there? Obviously, the short answer is money. A lot of money to fundraise and build that all out. But instead of just thinking of the obvious answer, what can we do on a smaller scale consistently to work our way up? So we have our big goal. What can we do every 6 months? What can we do every month? What can we do every week to slowly chip away and execute and find at the end of the journey that big goal? So my 6-month goal, and where are we? We're gonna say around June, dates subject to change. Right around June, I want to have a solo gallery show, showcasing a lot of my paintings from the past and also new paintings that I'll be working on in these subsequent months. And it will also be sort of a gala fundraiser for raising money for that big studio idea. So this goal in itself is also tremendous. It's large. It's gonna be a lot of moving parts. It's gonna be really hard to find a space. It's gonna be hard to get a space for cheap, if not free, so that I could raise money again for the point of supporting my nonprofit new school. All of that is very challenging and is still arguably a large unobtainable goal. But to me, and for my experience, that is way more realistic, and it is a step on the way to that. And again, it's the same idea, large goal, and how do we reverse engineer it and break that down? So again, every single month, I will be having to produce artwork. For that show, I will have to organize vendors, create tickets, create raffles, create prints to sell, obtain some sort of space, sign some 2, 3, 1 week lease, a bunch of things to do sort of every single month to get to that goal. And I have many awesome big painting projects to do, basically 1 per month. I already have 2 that I'm preparing, so stay tuned for that. Really excited about these epic paintings, getting back to some crazy epic projects. So the funny thing about this is it's not that simple. Again, I'm simplifying everything. Every month, there's a lot more to do than just make an epic painting. For some dream gallery show I want. Every month I have a certain amount of brand deals and sponsorships and YouTube videos. Every month I make around 3 to 4 YouTube videos, and that takes filming, that takes editing. We say around 3, so every single month I have to do 3 to 4 YouTube videos. And it is subject to change every month, but that's also sort of within my monthly deadline, execution, task, goal, whatever you want to call it. Another monthly task and goal I have to get people excited about the fundraiser, then ultimately get excited about raising money to move into a bigger studio to start art school, is maintain and continue growing my own program that I have here at this studio, which is Studio SLU, hosting drawing sessions, hosting painting sessions, workshops, things like that. So that is a to-do every single week. We're breaking down the months, but every single week, every single month, I do about 3 sessions per week. I'm trying to increase those numbers. So that's another sort of layer of executing to do, is building the Studio SLU program every single week, every single month. And we'll call that sort of the core to-do list. It's pretty obvious when it's explained like this, but I have YouTube videos every week. I have drawing and painting classes I need to host 3 times a week. I have 1 large painting project to do every month. Those are the core things, and that's a lot of work. But then there's obviously the other things in my life. I need to have a micro social life. I need to be a normal human. I need to take some time to do whatever I want within the studio. I have time for people to come to the studio every week and hang out. There's other individual projects that I help with artists. There's traveling experiences. There's sort of the core ideas, the things I want to execute. Hopefully I can reach them, because again, the point of these weekly and monthly goals are they're very realistic. They're not unrealistic. Every month and every week can't be your magnum opus at the end of the year, or even the 6th month goal. This goal can't be every single month or every single week. So it's sort of giving yourself a path and interstate of small obtainable goals that compound over a given course of the time to chisel toward your bigger goal. And that's the main idea. And that's how I sort of structure my life. And it doesn't need to be exactly the same as this. Maybe I can't do 3 drawing sessions a week in February. Maybe, in April, I can only do 2 YouTube videos. Life happens, it's fine. You wanna become a tool. You wanna become sort of like a robot with your time, not throughout your whole life, obviously, but you can be very creative with your time and be a tool to structure your work output, your execution, and different deadlines to, get closer to some sort of ambition you have. And Squarespace is something very similar to that, the sponsor of today's video. I would not be able to structure out my drawing sessions in the art school I'm building at Studio SLU if I didn't have an amazing online platform to schedule out ticketed events. Squarespace is the best website to build a website. They have award-winning templates for all your website desires. They have 24-hour customer service. They're just the highest quality website builder. Their user interface is so powerful. Like I said, I schedule all of my Studio SLU drawing sessions on there. People just go on the website, sign up. Rescheduling is really easy. Cancellations and refunds are really easy. It's all built into their platform, and I love it. The ability to customize your webpage is also super easy. They use a drag and drop grid method. It couldn't be easier and more streamlined. They have all of your business e-commerce needs with third-party applications for selling things online. It's just the most powerful and professional and easy to use website builder. Go check it out, squarespace.com. And when you're ready to buy a domain or build your own website, go to squarespace.com/SLU for 10% off. The big idea here is my life isn't gonna go exactly to plan on this calendar with a few X marks. Obviously, I use Google Drive on my Google Calendar. I love using the Google Calendar because it helps me really schedule everything that I'm talking about here in more detail. Everything's not gonna be exactly how I put down different phone calls, meetings, a million emails, but you can really set yourself up. This is a roadmap to your ambitions and goals. And if you set up a good enough roadmap and you follow it 80% or 100% or even exceed your roadmap, you're probably gonna find some sort of success. Like, to me, it's as easy as that, and that idea and that sentence is easy to say. In practice, is way easier, way harder, obviously. It's way easier said than done. going through all of this. It takes a lot of work for me and for anyone else trying to follow their dreams or do anything within a business or as an up-and-coming artist. It is really hard to stay consistent. But you create an idea or a goal. You elaborate on that goal. You construct a plan to achieve that goal, and then you execute on that plan. That's what I wanted to get across in this video, and I know it's very 30,000 feet up, looking down, but I wanted to give context of what my 2024 plan is. Again, it's pretty simple. Consistent YouTube videos, consistent art sessions, consistently making new, bigger projects to have a solo gallery show. And then there's a lot more, obviously, past this 6-month, deadline. This could be down here. Anyways, there's a lot more, but if I can just maintain those sort of 3 core goals and intentions per month, little things per week, I think I'll be in a really good state ending 2024, raising money into the new year of 2025, and doing what I want within my big, ambitious goals. You have control over your life. You have the ability to be creative with your time, to create some sort of structure, and again, I say roadmap to your dreams and aspirations, or even goals. It doesn't need to be this dramatic. Like for me, I have no idea 18 months from now if I'm really gonna raise north of $200,000 to be able to move into a triple the size studio, build, an art school that's pretty ambitious. I honestly do think I could do it within myself, whatever, it doesn't matter, but it's what you put into it, and having a strategy, having a plan for your time with small achievable things, like a chain, you add little, beads to your chain, and then eventually you have a huge necklace, or knitting a sweater, whatever analogy you want to put, it compounds. Not everyone has the amount of free time that they need to sometimes, execute their goals and aspirations. I obviously am full-time here in the studio. This is my life, and there's a lot to upkeep this studio. There's a lot to keep it afloat. I have to make a certain money a month just to keep, the monthly lease up and all of that, but I still have more time to do on top of that the things that I want, looking towards the future. And I don't want to sound like Mr. Know-It-All or some motivational speaker, but this is really I really internalize this sort of methodology of thinking and strategy, especially for my line of work, painting. You have to paint. If you don't paint, you won't make a painting. You have to film the painting. If you don't film the painting, you won't have footage to edit to upload a YouTube video. It's very A plus B equals C. And so if I could just continue to output with a plan, you can make a million things and it can't be, it's not homogenous to something. As long as the plan flows somewhat towards a goal, I think that's the name of the game. What else do I have? That's it, I guess. Subscribe to stay tuned for the journey. I document everything. This idea of a studio a year and a half from now is pretty crazy. I'm going to document every step of that, but also I'm going to document all the paintings leading up to that, the huge, hopefully, gallery, gala fundraiser to raise money, and just to also showcase my work because I have so much work I want people to see in person. Just stay tuned because there's a lot that's going to go down. I'm so amped for 2024. I guess that's all I got. Let me know what you think. If you like this idea, have you heard of this idea before? It's not very complicated. Harder in practice, but very simple idea. See you in the next video. Happy New Year.